to the basement tapes. That's right. SHOT 2020. We are all the way down in the basement. Now, this is subterranean cave. If you go all the way down that aisle, there's actually the Batmobile. That's how far down we are. So we decided on the last day of SHOT, when everybody's leaving, to come down into the cave and to say, hey, who are you guys? What do you have down here? What's interesting? What's neat? And you'd be surprised. There's a lot of stuff. Like this microphone, I look just like the guy on CNN. The only difference is I tell the truth. As I've said before, you find innovation in the basement, and probably not your basement, but at least the basement of the SHOT Show, there's a good chance you're going to find it. Ben here, Gearhead Works. Gearhead Works is the most, at least in my opinion, and this is a very opinionated subject, Ben, you'll agree on braces.
Yes.
I think the brace system developed by Gearhead Works is easily one of the brace systems available out there. It's simple, it's strong, it's tough. I mean, I can even figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't take a genius. Everything's one-hand manipulated, no straps or anything like that. Uses the weight of the gun to attach it to your arm. I think it is really the best brace on the market for one-handed shooting. Like, if you truly use it as a pistol and want to be accurate,
like that. Yeah.
It works great for that. New for this year, we do have a monorail PDW. We teamed up with Deadfoot Arms.
I love those guys.
Oh, they're great, man. They got some really cool stuff. We did a new design on the Mod 1. It's still the same functionality and still covers the patent and everything like that. And it still falls under our ATF approval letter because we did not change the functionality of it, just the shape a little bit to kind of flow with this and to get around that buffer right there. It is a quick release.
I mean, that's a great setup. It's a simple setup. If you're going to create a PDW, you're working toward that, this is the way to go.
Absolutely. And I guess this year's kind of been the year for shortening everything up.
Yeah.
We also came out with the Mod 2 Compact. It is quite a bit shorter than the standard Mod 2. It gives you that PDW size, but it also gives you a nice big place to set your cheek on, so you get that good stock cheek well on the stock and everything like that. It's still 5-position adjustable, and it still opens up just like the regular Mod 2.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, sir.
Show me the bolt gun, because
Absolutely.
I just want to say one thing. If you walk the floor of this show in 2020, you're going to see a lot of little bitty bolt pistols, not rifles, but pistols. A lot of the major manufacturers have them. A lot of stuff is going into them. These guys were first. These guys were the first ones who walked out here and said, what do you think of this? Everybody said,
I loved it. Yeah.
What happened? It is maybe the best hog hunting gun ever made by man on planet Earth. It's a bolt-action pistol. Rifle. Rifle.
Pistol. Yeah. 300 blackout bolt action. We use a Remington 700 receiver, machine it off, put our logo on it and everything like that. But the reason we chose to use that Remington instead of doing proprietary, it's easier for the customer. You can go anywhere in the U.S., pick up a rail for the top, new triggers. So, everybody's got their favorite.
Standard. It is the standard.
That's it. Full aluminum chassis. The entry model will use our Mod 2 adjustable. And then as you go up, you do get to this, which is a custom folding aluminum with the Mod 1. And it's a slightly customizable gun. You tell us how you want it. Do you want a smooth barrel, spiral fluted, custom paint, all that fun stuff. So you get to kind of build your own gun through us, and then we mail it out to you.
If I manage to put together that Africa trip this year, I'm not going to be taking that great big box that I have to bribe 50 people to get into the country. I'm going to be small and fast.
That's it.
Ben, thanks, man, and thanks for innovative work.
Thank you.
Okay, I've said this again and again and again. It's very important. The difference between man and the lower animals is the ability to accessorize. Initially, when AR-15s came out, they were all black. This is because they were military guys. They have no imagination. Timber Creek solved that problem a long time ago. They make a good product. They make a wide range of products. And they make them in colors. They come in colors everywhere you comb your hair. They're like a rainbow. Nigel, just an odd question. You're sitting around looking at the AR accessory market one day somewhere in the distant past, and you go like, colors. Is that how it popped up?
Well, yeah, exactly. People are sports shooting more with ARs, so we wanted to add a little, flash to everything, not a lot of people are hunting. They don't need the tactical colors, but we do offer that.
Mhm.
And we just wanted something that was going to just kind of pop more. And we knew there was a demand for it. So.
Well, three gun drove the heck out of colored guns because everybody wanted to be, because I filmed them, and everybody wanted to pop out a little different. They wanted to be different,
be noticed.
Yeah. So
and that's what we want. We want people, and we want people to get. We want more people into it. We want women and children and guys want to be able to shoot this because they want to accessorize their gun and kind of get into it a little bit more.
You're also now offering kind of an accessory package.
Right. So our
over here.
Yeah, our parts, every part we offer on this gun that's purple or orange or red can be offered in these kits now. You can just go into your local dealer and pick this kit, and you can accessorize your AR.
So everything you got there is all the colors that you make. You just pop them in.
All in one.
How much would roughly, don't need dead on MSRP, but roughly what's it cost you to be different?
About $750.
That's not bad.
It's all machined aluminum, all made in the USA, all backed by a lifetime warranty. So I mean, we stand behind our product.
Thank you. They're cool. I use them for all exactly the same reasons
Awesome.
you just described. And so, really, think about it, kids. The truth is, you don't want to look like your neighbor's AR because currently in America, everyone has 3 ARs. So you're going to have to work harder to stand out. Brian, half-breed knives, they look cool. You're in the basement. Key point here is we used to say guns are only guns, but knives are important. What do you think about that? Is that...
Well, as the joke that my dad always used to tell me was guns are guns, but knives are always loaded. So it always depends on how you want to break it down, I guess. But, we have a couple of different options as far as choices that people look at when they're considering kind of, secondary tools. A lot of people consider firearms to be a primary tool, and then other people have different mentalities about that. But whether you're looking for a secondary or primary, we want to make sure that the tools we're providing are top tier, so that it provides the best possible options, whether you're utilizing it as a primary or secondary. So
I noticed that tomahawks have kind of taken off.
Yeah.
If you can use that frame. They've been around forever, but it's part because of the utility. If you have them in the car, they will help you conceivably get out of said car.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of various requests over the years, be it for the civilian bushcraft market or law enforcement and military for MOE for methods of entry, for SWAT teams, and either fire rescue for breaching and extrication purposes, professional use, if you will, and then even military teams where they're utilizing it for close quarters battle and other applications. Like this one, as an example, was actually the request of a Australian Special Operations team that it was actually in their unit insignia, and they said, we're going to carry that and take it into war zones, and it's going to be awesome.
And they're probably using it in those fires.
I'm sure it's a combination of a whole bunch of different things that are using it for, because that's, again, it's a tool that's built for war, it's overbuilt, and it's extremely robust. So, there's a whole combination of tools, whether it be for something that doesn't even have a sharp edge, all the way down to small and edged weapon tomahawks that can be utilized in a confined environment for combat.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but here you got a push dagger that can open a bottle. Is this?
You're wrong. I apologize, but you are wrong.
Maybe change that shape slightly.
Yep.
To turn it into a utility tool.
Well, you could. The problem was that it didn't allow you to do all the cool stuff that people like to show around with. So if we turned it into a bottle opener, we would have to put a little notch right there, and then opening it up would spin your finger right around on that and give you a pretty nasty cut. So we tried it once, and it didn't end well for anybody. So.
One more thing, and this is kind of a semi-philosophical question.
Sure.
You saw basically a primary dagger blade or a push dagger blade simply disappear for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And in the last probably 12 to 16 months, you've seen the push dagger do a resurrection. Why?
No, well, this isn't. Yes, I agree with you that there has been a lot of people who were familiar with the functionality, and when I say people who have been around the knife industry and the close quarters protection application of knives for more than a decade, typically who had an understanding of what was needed, what worked, what didn't work. They saw those things kind of fall out of favor because other applications were coming into play. As you know, new technologies lead to new applications and new ways of thinking, and then they can come back and say, okay, here's something we weren't able to do technologically before in order to machine it correctly or make it strong enough with new materials or lighter steels or things like that. So those things have kind of come back around. There are some excellent custom makers that are doing those, and as well as some production tools. But that's a tried and true design that's been literally around since the Bronze Age. So as far as that goes, it's just something that people have been able to kind of move back around, and as those cycle trends, people bring them back around because they work. And in this case, as an example, though, that's actually not a straight push dagger. It's another series. But as far as that goes, it does still have some. There's actually a similar knife design that does go back to that same kind of time frame, where almost around the Egyptian kingdom.
This is something you look at that is a utilitarian knife for a self-defense situation.
Yes.
This week's Triggered is brought to you by Armscore, Rock Island Armory. What's your passion? Taurus USA, always ready, always bring it. Stoger, everyday tough. SDS Imports and the Tesis PX9. Tesis means quality. Hunter's HD Gold. They change so you don't have to.
One of the things you find in the basement of the SHOT Show is what you're going to be seeing next year, because innovation lives down here in the basement. It's hard to get on that upper floor, a little easier to get down in the basement. This is something I've been looking at ever since the first reviews and talk to it came out. It is a chassis, plastic chassis. It takes a SIG 320 cradle. I think we're all familiar with the 320 cradle, how it sits into the chassis. What makes this different than the one SIG makes or the one, say, B&T makes? This plastic chassis converts the 320 to take the 365 magazines. Now that makes for a really interesting gun. In fact, it solves some of the issues with a 365 as a deep concealment carry gun. I carry a 365, my 80 everyday carry. I carry a 365 SAS in deep carry. But this makes sense because you've already got the 365 magazines. The magazines itself, if you remember on the 365, that's the innovation. The magazine is the important product. The gun was built around the magazine. So this is a Min 2. They figured out a way to, hey, let's take that groundbreaking magazine and hook it up to SIG's basic 320. This is actual innovation. Okay, guys, this seems like an appropriate place to end our tour of the basement, to end the basement tapes. This is apparently the Iron Throne. The only thing I want to know are where are my damn dragons? That's all I asked for. I get a cigar. All I wanted was something that breathed fire. Well, I'm Michael Bane. This is Triggered. As always, we love the last day of SHOT Show when we get to go down in the basement and see the things that I'm going to be buying next week. We'll see you on Wednesday.